June was Music Month across the city of New York, and I decided to use some of this free time I've got now to go and check out all of the events that they were offering. I believe it's one of the largest music business related events across the US, so there were actually too many for me to check out, but I got around to quite a few. I initially wanted this video to be a little bit more structured and scripted, but I think my reflections just before and after the events speak for themselves. I think this month just got me to think critically about what kind of artist I'm going to be, what the music industry and the creative industry really is at this point. And yeah, I'm just kind of figuring it out as the month goes. So here we go.
It's New York Music Month. By the time you're watching this, it's probably already going to be over, but it's New York Music Month right now, and I've signed up for about 10 different events, and today's event is about putting together a press kit, an EPK, as they say in the biz, and what it takes to turning from someone who's just sort of online to someone who can actually, sell tickets and reach people and reach concert promoters and booking agents specifically. I'm still learning a lot about, so it's really bright. It's a really bright, hot day in New York. Not that you needed to know that.
Finish out from another recording session. Concert series. Those are the kind of like different elements that you can.
All right, so the event is over. I didn't film it too much because my phone is actually on really low battery. Yeah, just gut reaction. It's nothing that was really mind-blowing. A lot about putting together something visually nice and informative can be very useful. You're sort of pitching a little bit of a product and you're trying to gain some trust. So that was good, but really, main takeaway, it's just such good fun to just talk to people. Like, I've been searching for jobs, and it is soul-sucking to be sort of looking at LinkedIn, and it's just you versus the job requirements, when in reality, it's like, how do you actually do this? Just by talking to people, and that's just like a million times more interesting. All those people were amazing, connected with them, and it's like, people always say like, oh, networking is what really gets you found or whatever, networking this and networking that.
Okay, my phone literally died. As I was saying before my phone died, networking it makes it seem scarier than it actually is. It's actually just like being a cool person to be around, someone who wants to listen to what you have to say, hold a genuine conversation. Like, that sounds so basic, but it is also about asking. If you want something, just ask for it. Not as in like, please give me this, but like either they're gonna do it or they're not, and they've probably already decided. But you might as well just ask. If they're actually a good person to connect with, then they'll give you something else. They'll let you know about something else. Yeah, it appears scary because, I mean, personally, I don't like asking things from people, even though that is actually a part of it. But just talking to people, I can do that, especially if it's something as nerdy or specific as music and music tech stuff. At least you have a way into that conversation. And then wherever it goes, the networking, business connection you get out of it, who knows where that goes. But in that moment, you're just in a room talking with people, and that's its own skill. And telling your own story and not being embarrassed of that story. I feel like sometimes I'm embarrassed of my own story for some reason, or I just am reticent to tell it. But that's what this whole thing is. That's what all of music is. It's getting up on stage and telling your story. The gentleman running the event, who's the director of programming at DRAM NYC, said that doing this elevator pitch, where you're talking to whoever you're talking to, the booker, the agent, the person you want to be your mentor, you're giving them this tight, elevator pitch. You're not just giving them something canned or totally rehearsed, but it is a little rehearsed. It's like you're giving a very short, focused performance.
and that has to be rehearsed like an instrument almost, and that kind of appealed to me. So yeah. All right, it's now Wednesday, June 10th. I'm actually on my way right now to the next event, which is at DROM, the venue in Lower East Side, whatever you want to call it, the West Village. It's kind of in between. It's on First Avenue, and it's about the title is Modern Merch Strategy for the Artist, which I'm expecting to sort of do what it says in the title. Talk about merch, which used to be kind of like, there were some bands that were just really good at it, and that was their thing. Like, there's just some bands, like, you just know, like, their merch is everywhere, even though they're not like huge. But now, because we don't sell physical records anymore, merch is, it's a bigger deal. So I'm going to do this event just to understand, maybe hopefully how me as a small artist, or maybe other small artists, can do merch a little bit better, instead of just being like, hey, buy my CDs, or here are some free stickers, or whatever. So yeah, see you there.
I was gonna say upstate versus
I would say, I guess those styles. All right, I've just left DROM and I'm going to watch the next game in the NBA Finals. But first, I'll reflect on the event. The event was great. Again, all these are opportunities to meet people, but specifically, it was a pretty structured read down this sort of checklist, going over all of the stuff that goes into the merchandise strategy of an artist. And I'll probably break it down more later, but I took lots of notes. I was furiously scribbling very untidy notes. I didn't want to take pictures or be typing things. But yeah, it was generally just figuring out what you're going to sell, how you're going to sell it, and then the whole data analytics thing of making it better, making it more in tune with like what people want, which is really interesting. I'm gonna have some more thoughts later, but yeah, it felt a lot like the EPK and the booking, pitching event, but just for merchandise strategy.
And that was building a company. And it's all the same. So if you came from something else and now you're doing this.
Entire month of June and more, please give it up for Sheer Gans.
Okay, so that was a very interesting talk. Or it's actually, yeah, it was sort of a talk and then a musical performance / storytelling session. I had to dip out a little bit early. The part of the event that I saw was essentially it was a book that was written by, and I'll put her name here, who has a system for getting people away from this cycle of wanting, feeling like you need the maximum amount of attention possible on social media. You need scale, you need a lot of people looking at you, and instead, sorry, I'm walking through Midtown. Instead of focusing on the amount of people watching you, focusing on what you do when they do find you, when they do see you, and how you can turn that buzz, people checking you out for whatever reason, however they see you, into a bond, into like a community. And I thought it was a fairly honest conversation. I mean, it was fairly honest, but it's also sort of ironic that they're holding this in the Warner Music Building. Of course, who's plastered on the walls and what do they kind of stand for? Probably, only really the biggest artists. This event was not actually affiliated with Warner. It was affiliated with another company, or another, I don't know if they're a nonprofit or a company, called Artists for Artists. It seems like what they do is pretty interesting, more on the actual with the artist level. Yeah, one takeaway, there was this recommendation, like, just try and get one one fan a day. And they also had artists in there who sort of said that same thing, that it's like, even they had this very successful artist, pianist, or singer and songwriter, Ryan Starr. He said, even though he was like super huge and whatever, and he was like touring with huge people, he would go stand by the merch table and he would go talk to people. And he was like touring with like Rob Thomas and a bunch of other bands, and they would say, oh, you're trying to hustle the fans, when in reality he just liked talking to people, and he liked telling them a story, or wanting to talk to them after the show. And that was kind of reflected across the whole talk. There's this big incentive that, like, oh, I have to be big right now, and I have to be like flashy, and I have to show off. When in reality, it's like, yeah, just like one fan every day. And that seems very naive. It's very facile. It's, oh, if I just get one fan a day, it's easy. But really, that's not how it works. You can never guarantee that. But at least putting that goal, like, what would I need to implement to actually like get one fan a day? Or when people see you on social media, how do they have a very clear path from just like being able to like see you and discover you? That's very easy. But how do they then have a path to like, hey, this person is pretty cool, and hey, this person piques my interest and makes up something of value, All right, so on Tuesday we were at Power Station. I was at Power Station to do a short little event. And then Wednesday I was at Drum. And yesterday I was at the Warner Music Building in Midtown. And now we're going back to Power Station, because today is an event very, very near and dear to my heart, because it's about Miles Davis. And yeah, he just happens to be my namesake. That's my dad's fault. He was born in the year 1926, and it's the year 2026. So we're celebrating his legacy along with the legacy of John Coltrane, who's also born in 1926, and Oscar Peterson. He's also technically, this is his centennial as well. Yeah, I don't know what it's really gonna be like. I just know that my good friend, not really my friend, but yeah, my good friend Ashley Kahn, the great journalist, will be there. So I immediately signed up for this.
So this talk was really about his life, his legacy, but also this project that Park Avenue Artists did with the estate of Miles Davis to take some of the stems from kind of Blue AI, stem separate them, put them with a live orchestra with a new arrangement, and screen that along with the Birth of the Cool documentary that was produced a few years ago, which at times was very interesting to hear about, but at times very strange, considering the type of artist that Miles Davis was. So it was a very interesting talk.